Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are having an amazing day. My name is Gautam and I'm back with another exciting video. Recently, I have noticed that a lot of people are becoming fitness freaks. We are inspired by Bollywood actors, social media influencers, and we are trying to get all the muscular body that we can. And to be honest, I tried it myself. I'm sure that you guys are thinking I don't look that much muscular, but yeah, I did went to the gym and lifted a couple of weights. You don't believe me? Let me show you practically. So here are 2.5 kg weights. See, I can lift it very easily. Now I'm sure that you guys are thinking like this is too easy. Let me just raise the bar. So now I have this 12.5 kg dumbbell, which I think I can lift it, but both of my hands, let me just keep it down. Can you guess how long I was consistent? Well, 12 days. And after that, I got really bored of lifting weights. And to be honest, I was a little bit disheartened because I was not able to make that six-pack muscular body that I always imagined. But it really made me think, why did I quit the gym? What was the reason behind it? Why did I got so bored? I really wanted to understand the reason. Because even if I mustered up all the energy to get back to the gym, I needed to make sure that I won't quit this time so easily. And after some thought, I noticed something, a pattern. It's not just the gym. This happens in other areas of your life as well. For example, you sign up for morning classes, probably jogging, and after doing it for 2-3 days, when your feet and your thighs start hurting, we quit. And let's say you want to learn guitar, and after a couple of classes, when your fingers really starts to hurt, a lot of you quit. And let's say you are very enthusiastic to gather some information and you download a study app. And after consuming content, when your brain starts to hurt, when you are exhausted, you uninstall that app. Did you notice a pattern here? Whenever a task starts becoming boring, repetitive, or painful, we quit. And this is how our brain works, seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. Let me give you one more example with which all of you can relate. Studying. Isn't it really boring? No matter how much we say that this is my favorite subject or I love to study, but for a lot of you, it's actually boring because reading something, learning something causes a lot of mental pain. And we try to avoid it unless and until it becomes absolutely necessary. For example, the night before your exam, when you are trying to cram all the information so that you don't fail tomorrow morning. Sounds familiar, right? So here is the paradox of life. Without learning new things, you can't really grow in life. But that process is actually painful or boring. So how do we do it? Here is the big question. How do we turn something boring or repetitive like lifting weights or studying into something which is really fun? The answer in one word, just gamify it. And that's what really Avishkaar does. If you want to learn computer programming, it offers you a solution in the form of their kits and software so that you can learn computer programming in a very gamified and engaging manner. You still don't believe me? Let me show you a beautiful project that I made using Avishkaar Maker Studio. Let's see it in action. Alright guys, so it's time to see the project output in action, and all you have to do is just hit the play button. But before that, you need to make sure that your dumbbells are ready. So now let's hit the play button. Your yellow sprite is the Mario sprite and your red sprites are the enemy sprite. If you want to move in the right direction, all you have to do is just raise your right hand. You need to make sure that you are not colliding with the red sprite, which is the enemy sprite. And now if you want to move in the left direction, you just need to raise your left hand. But I won't do it because I have an enemy sprite in my left direction. So you can see that in order to move right, just raise the right hand. And in order to move left, just raise the left hand. Isn't that amazing, guys? So once you have the enemy sprite above you, just move it left. Okay, yeah. So this is how you do the exercise in a very fun and creative manner. Isn't it amazing? I think I collided with the enemy. Game over. Well, I know that you guys are thinking, how did I really make this project? So let's take a deep dive into my making journey together. So the inspiration to create this project was a very simple one. I wanted to find a way to make something boring feel exciting. And once I had this in my mind, I started figuring out the key elements which were required to make this project a successful one. And the first important element was to log into the AMS software, and that too specifically in the camera capture mode of the Maker board. The second important element was to train the AI model on 3 specific gestures. The first one, staying still so that your sprite doesn't move. The second one, raising your left hand with the dumbbell so that your sprite moves in the left direction when your hand is up. And the third one, right hand, so that your sprite can move in the right direction. The third important element was to verify the trained AI model. So now that we have done with the training part, I wrote a very simple piece of code which would print the confidence level and the detected AI labels just to check if the model is trained properly or not. And finally, the last important element was to write a Python code that would do the following things: detect the gesture in real time, control the enemy sprite from the top, move our sprite, the Mario, based upon the gesture. And the most important thing, if the enemy collides with our sprite, print game over, or else keep the score incrementing. So the first important step is to log in with the platform, and for that, all you have to do is open your web browser and write www.avishkaar.cc and hit enter. Once the website opens, all you have to do is just click on the sign in button, enter your phone number. Let me just put it here, and finally click on login with OTP. Now let's wait for the OTP. And we have got it, 600028. 600028. Let me click on the verify button, and here we are logged into the platform. Next, we have to click on the AMS button, which is on the top right corner. After that, let's click on AI and machine learning, MakerBoard 2.0, and finally we have to click on the camera capture mode. So let's click here. Great, now you guys are logged in with the platform successfully, and let's move on to the next step. Alright, so the next step is very interesting. Now we have to train our AI model on 3 gestures: the left gesture, right gesture, and the common gesture, where we are lifting no hands. We are sitting absolutely still. And for that, all you have to do is just click on this configure AI model, go to this PoseNet, and we have our label 1. Let me just rename it to left. Let me create a new label and name it as right, and the label 3 should be common. I don't need the 4th label, let me just delete it. So by default, the recording duration would be 6 seconds, so you have to change it to 8 seconds so that your model can get ample number of samples. So now comes the most interesting part, which is to give our model the samples, and for that, let me just lift the dumbbell and click on start recording. So guys, this is the left gesture where I'm simply raising my left hand with a dumbbell and right hand is absolutely still. It's done. Let me just do the same for right as well. Start recording and raise the dumbbell in right hand. Now the left hand would be still and right hand is lifted with a dumbbell. Next, we have to do it for common, and for this label, we have to sit absolutely still doing nothing. Our both hands should be on our lap. No hand should be lifted in order to avoid confusion. Okay, so now our model has all the samples for left, right, and common. It's time to train the model. Let me just click on this train model button and let's wait for the model to be trained. Okay, so the training process is completed and it's time to test the model. So for that, you have to click on this test model button and let's see if it's working fine or not. Amazing. So now the common is 100% and that is absolutely correct. Now let's do it for left and right as well. Let me just hold both the dumbbells. Alright, so the left label is 100%. Amazing. This is common. And this is the right label. Perfect. Our model is trained perfectly fine. So once you have trained the model, just simply download it so that you can use it later as well. So let me just hit the download button. Alright guys, so now as a final verification, I want to check if my model is working fine or not within the code. So for that, all you have to do is just click on this project menu, go to open button and click on confidence test project. Now I'm pretty sure that you guys don't have this code in your system, but don't you worry about it. I will share this code in the description of this video. So this is a very simple piece of code which is actually detecting the AI label and the confidence level, and it's just simply printing it on the console at an interval of 500 milliseconds again and again. So all you have to do is just click on this play button, run this project and open the console. So you can see that the common label is 100%, which means it is working fine because both of my hands are down. Let me just try it for left and right. Let me just get the dumbbells. And now we can see that left is 100%. This is working fine. And let's do it for right as well. Okay, so now we can see that right is also 100%. Alright guys, so our model is working absolutely fine and it's time to open the main code. And for that, all you have to do is just go to this open window and click on this exercise game project. So this is a very simple piece of code that is actually creating the Mario sprite, setting the x1 and x2 variable for 0 because this is the x coordinate of the enemy sprite. Now this is a very interesting loop which is actually generating x1 and x2 randomly, and it would only break if both x1 and x2 are different. And this is very important because we want our enemy to fall from different locations. Next, we are drawing enemy 1 and enemy 2 on the top row. We are turning both the sprites in right direction by 90 degrees. And inside this main loop, we are first detecting the AI label and the confidence level, and simultaneously we are moving enemy by one step in downward direction. Next, we are checking if the confidence level of detected label is greater than 70. We'll check what's the detected label and what's the previous label. If the detected label is left and the previous label is not left, then only move our sprite by one step. It's a very important condition because this will make sure that your sprite is moving only by one step in left or right direction. Next, we are checking if the enemy sprite is touching Mario, show the animation of game over and break out of the loop. And if it's not touching the Mario sprite, if the enemy sprites are touching the bottom edge, all we have to do is just relocate them in the top row. And finally, we are just adding a delay of 700 milliseconds. Alright, so this is the beautiful piece of code and it's time to see the project output in action. And for that, let me just get this maker board a little bit zoomed in. Let me hit the play button and I need to have the dumbbells in my hand. Let me just adjust the frame once. Okay, here we are. Let me just hit the play button. Okay, I need to move in right. Okay, so you can see that the yellow sprite or the Mario sprite moved in right direction. It's time to move in left. Isn't it amazing, guys? As soon as you are raising your left hand, it's moving in the left direction. And so is the case for right. Come on, move one more right. Oh, my enemy just collided with the Mario sprite and it's game over. Isn't it amazing, guys? This project also came with its own set of challenges. But hey, what's a project or a making journey without any challenges? And the first important challenge was that AI model was getting confused between gestures. For example, when I was raising my left hand, sometimes it would detect it as a normal gesture and my complete game would go haywire. And the solution for this is very simple. All you have to do is train the AI model with a plain background like this. You need to make sure that the lighting in your room is consistent. And the third important thing, give the model as many samples as possible. For example, do the recording for like 8 to 10 seconds so that your model has ample number of samples. The second challenge was a very interesting one. The sprite movement was very fast and it was very jumpy. For example, if I raise my left hand, instead of moving by one step in the left direction, it instantly moved 3-4 steps. I didn't want that. I wanted my sprite just to move by one step. And after a lot of brainstorming, I figured out what the problem was. It was an if condition. If the detected gesture is left hand, move the sprite. This if condition was getting executed again and again inside a loop. And that was the real problem. So I started thinking about the solution and I found a very simple fix. I added another condition. Instead of just checking what was the gesture that was made by the user, I also started checking what was the previous gesture that was made by the user. And after integrating these two conditions, my problem was solved. The sprite was moving very smoothly by one step, just like butter. So the third challenge was the most interesting challenge that I encountered during this project. Both the enemy sprites were dropping from the same location. This made the game very predictable and boring, and I needed to come up with a solution very fast. So I added a while loop at the top of my program, which was continuously generating different X positions for both the enemy sprites till they were completely different. And that is how we solved it. Isn't it amazing, guys? So here we are at the end of my making journey. But this is not the end for you. It's a new beginning because I have a challenge for you. How about creating a new game with a different pose? For example, if you are jumping in front of the camera up and down, your sprite should follow the same behavior. It should also jump up and down on the LED matrix. Isn't that amazing, guys? If you are able to integrate this into your project, do share your code in the comment box. I will definitely check it out. Till then, this is your host Gautam signing off. Have a great day ahead. Stay fit. Bye.